Hey everyone! Today's story is heartbreaking and intense. People in wheelchairs were zip-tied and dragged out of the Capitol during a protest against Medicaid cuts. It's sparking outrage online, and it's time we push back. Let's dive in. A shocking viral video shows U.S. Capitol Police zip-tying elderly and disabled protesters, some in wheelchairs, while they peacefully demonstrate against proposed Medicaid cuts inside a Senate office building. These protesters weren't just chanting, they were holding banners like "Don't kill us" and "No cuts to Medicaid." Many rely on Medicaid for life-saving medications and care. This isn't politics, it's a matter of life and death. Capitol Police said 33 people were arrested for demonstrating in a restricted area. They claim legal protest zones existed elsewhere, but people in wheelchairs, zip-tied. Online outrage is intense. Tweets like, "How did they think a wheelchair-bound person would attack them?" are going viral. This protest targeted Trump's so-called One Big Beautiful Bill, which passed the House by one vote and could strip Medicaid from 10 million Americans over 10 years. And the image of disabled elders being zip-tied? That's a moral crisis.
Again, this contentious situation seemingly starting to unwind here as members of the Capitol Police and some police sergeants arrest and handcuff using these kind of plastic flex cuffs on certain members of these protesters as they kind of get carted away, likely to be booked by U.S. Capitol Police. Again, something that we see fairly often on Capitol Hill, but notable about what they're protesting about, shouting "No cuts to Medicaid" and other things. So while these protests are ongoing, though, very different story up here on Capitol Hill. The White House Press Secretary Carolyn Leavitt coming up here to rally members of the House Republican Conference to try and pass this big, beautiful bill and get this done as soon as possible. Not just her, but also one of the White House Deputy Chiefs of Staff. We learned a little bit from that meeting, which just wrapped up a short time ago, including the fact that President Trump is firm on that July 4th deadline. Furthermore, he wants the members of Congress to get this bill done. He has made this his top priority. According to the press secretary, this will be his top priority coming back from Europe. He's on a plane right now, returning from The Hague to here in Washington, D.C., where he's expected to focus entirely on this big, beautiful bill and trying to get this to his desk by July 4th. Again, a lot of hurdles to do so. Some Republican senators still and members of the House still saying they don't know what's in the final work product. The White House Deputy Chief of Staff telling reporters they're expecting that final text, the final bill text, within the next day or two. So again, while these protests on Capitol Hill continue, we're still beginning to see more of the big, beautiful bill and better understand its fate, again, with this incredibly slim Republican majority in the House of Representatives and the Senate. Democrats and obviously pro-Medicaid protesters have taken all they can to try and exploit the fact that some of those provisions, especially among Democrats, not polling well, proving to be unpopular. Even Senator Tom Tillis, the Republican from North Carolina, reportedly yesterday warning his own party, warning Republicans that those cuts could be wildly unpopular.
Yeah, and Nate, that image that we just saw of the Capitol Police attempting to restrain some of those protesters using mobility devices, I imagine is going to have some lasting power.
Here's the truth. This isn't just political theater. It's a human rights issue. We've got to stand up for people who depend on Medicaid to survive. What's your reaction? Outrage, heartbreak, anger? Sound off below. If you believe healthcare is a human right, hit that like. Want more real talk and stories that matter? Subscribe and ring the bell. This fight deserves your attention.